Hello, everybody. It's Vicki Lee, and I wanted to talk to you about a story that I ran across the other day when I went to visit my friend. We were trying to be quiet and not wake up the rest of the house early in the morning. And I'm not always in front of the television, but there was a newsreel that crossed, and I was riveted to it and so saddened by it. It's a young 27-year-old woman. It was a news anchor in Wisconsin, and was an apparent suicide. She was supposed to get married on October 12th. The family is devastated. Everyone around her is shocked. So I wanted to talk about that dynamic, and it does not stand alone. We're seeing stories like this. A lot of the stories that I have seen, it's men and women, but young, successful women seem to be taking this path. And from everything that I saw, even her own sister that she was so close to said she was just the happiest person I had ever known. She had suffered a tragedy back in high school when she lost her first love. He died of cancer, and she was there with him through the end. Whatever it was that drove her to possibly take her own life, and it looks like it is suicide, at the point of a wedding coming up in October 12th, in the face of a loving family, in the face of a budding, wonderful career. She had everything to live for, but she's gone, and she took her own life. What is the emptiness that many people hide? If I'm speaking to you, what is the emptiness that you're hiding? Are you pretending that everything's okay when you're dying inside? I was a young girl and I did not understand my uncle. He was very disturbed, and I'm just a young kid growing up and going to school, and we moved just about every year. So I'm in the middle of a lot of changes in my own life. But my uncle was just disturbed. He just didn't seem to have happiness. He had studied for the ministry at one time, then he left and he went off to college, and that was in the 1960s, which was a very turbulent, changeable time in the United States of America. And he committed suicide at the age of 27, the same age as this anchor. I'm not going to say this anchor's name. It's not that important, and her name is already being blasted everywhere. So we're going to give her the privacy of all of that. I'm not going to say my uncle's name to preserve his privacy, but he had attempted suicide, and on the seventh try, he succeeded. I remember going to the funeral, and here we are, a Christian family, and my uncle is in the casket, and he shot and killed himself at 27. And I remember thinking to myself, what was so bad? The funeral of someone who has died of suicide is such a tragic event because not only are they gone, they chose to be gone. This is why I speak, because even in the better parts of society, the seemingly well adjusted parts of society, the successful parts of society, people are taking an out on their own lives. The joy of the Lord is my strength. We have talked about this, haven't we? The joy of the Lord. Any one of us, no matter how deep we are as Christians, can go through suffering. We can go through all sorts of strenuous things in life that can push us, can it? And we can take our eyes off the Lord and just become so bogged down to where it doesn't seem worth it anymore. We have to set our eyes back on the author and the finisher of our faith. If you don't have Christ, what I'm saying is true. The joy of the Lord can be your strength. God sent his son. He gave his only begotten son, that whosoever believes on him shall not perish. Perish. You don't need to perish, but you can have everlasting life. And he sent his son into the world not to condemn the world, but that the world through him might be saved. So when you see this public figure like this girl, and it's just rays of sunshine with a fiance, with a wedding coming October 12th, with a sister who just swore everything was fine, it makes us wonder what's going on in the hearts of maybe ourselves or those around us in this day and age. How much despair are we covering over in the face of a seemingly normal life? I'm here to tell you that a few years ago, when I had the responsibility of my father and everything on me, and I was ill, and it just kept coming at me like a flood. And I know there was so much on me that I was having a nervous breakdown. And I have a pistol, and it's all there with the bullets. And I took it to my son, and he lived with me, and I gave it to him, and I said, "You need to keep this." And he looked at me and he said, "Mom," I said, "just keep this. Just keep this." I was not in a good space and a good place, and there was no relief for me in those overwhelming logistics that kept coming in like a flood. It passed. But during that time, it was so overwhelming, I couldn't even get to the joy of the Lord. It's my strength. So as I speak to you, I know the importance of staying centered, centered, centered. If I'm speaking to you today and you give a smile for everybody, but deep inside you're dying and you're headed that way in your thoughts, come to the Lord. Come to the cross, believe on the Lord Jesus Christ, and you shall be saved. And there is a fountain of happiness and blessing. He said, "Peace I give, not as the world gives, not as the world gives. Peace that passes understanding, a sense of purpose. I promise you, if you come to Christ, if you're a Christian, and this is happening to you, come to Christ. You've wandered, you've strayed. Come to the cross. Rest in him. Lean into him. He said, "Cast your cares. Cast me your cares. I care for you. You give me your sorrow. I'll give you my joy." It's a deal you can't pass up. Trust me. I have been in every level, in every spectrum, and I know his joy. It's a free gift for you. Take the free gift. Don't, don't hurt yourself. If you feel that you are beyond it right now, reach out for help. There are people who love you. There are people who will help you. Say, "I need help." It's okay. Come to the cross. Come to the Lord. He loves you. He knew you from the beginning of time, and he has a plan for you, not for harm and not for disaster, but plans to bless you and give you a future and a hope. There is hope. in Jesus Christ. I hope this helps everybody. Be brave. Be brave. If you need the help, be brave and say, I need the help. Come to Christ. Come to Him. God bless you.